Good evening, Hobby World. Thanks for joining us tonight for episode 41 of Personal Rips and Hobby Chat. Joining me tonight, as always, is Ken from Bean's Beat Card Blog, and I'm Herman, aka 3B Collections. We're here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about our hobby and yours. Feel free to join in the chat, or feel free to join to the conversation in chat. We have been working frantically trying to get Ed in here, and it still doesn't seem to be working.
The spinning beach ball of death.
That's it. There he is.
Oh, hey!
Hello, gentlemen.
How about
looks
that?
like we may have to have you on your phone then.
Yeah.
Or whatever works.
With the computer. And I'm downstairs. I'm right near my router also. So
yeah, because like your other screen is just white. It doesn't show anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the problem is with that.
So we already got Bo in here and Mark and
hello guys.
Bo says we got a little Monday night HobbyPalooza going on.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I had said this morning, and I think I put it in the show title about HobbyPalooza hangover.
Yeah.
I watched HobbyPalooza all day yesterday. I think I missed one episode of what was going on, and that's because I was traveling and my service dropped. So, but anyway, joining us tonight is Ed at Safe at Home Cards.
Yes.
And that's at SAH_cards. Is it RI?
All right, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. That's what I thought. Okay. He's going to join us tonight for our very first episode of, or I say episode, I guess it is an episode, of Collector's Corner. He's here. He's going to share with us what he collects, how he collects, show off anything that he wants to show off, and just kind of hang out with us tonight. So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, we might as well just get right into it and go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell everybody how you got in the hobby.
Yeah, my name's Ed Greene, and I'm from Tiverton, Rhode Island. And I've been in the hobby since 1973 when I was 8 years old. And this is the card that started it all for me, if you can see it. Right there. Carl Yastrzemski, 1973 tops. Unfortunately, this isn't the original one, but that was the first card I pulled out of a pack in 1973, and I've been hooked since then. I collected cards right through until high school, and then college came and I kind of got away from it. But I always collected memorabilia and anything sports related. I got back into cards about 10 years ago, and I went for the modern for a while, but I've gone back into vintage. I think I enjoy that much more.
Yeah. You said you got back in, you said 10 years ago?
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I started buying cards again.
So about 2011?
Yeah, just after the trout, probably around 2012.
Okay, so you missed out. You missed out on the trout then. Okay.
Yeah, I missed out on that big time.
So we got, like I said, we got Mark Hoyle in here, and he's a Red Sox collector. Do y'all know each other? I'm sure.
I follow him on Twitter. Yes, he has quite the impressive collection. Yeah,
he does. He does. So what? So you said are you mostly vintage now?
Yeah, as the prices started going over the last couple of years, it's really hard. If you're going to spend that kind of money, you might as well go into the vintage. It's what I relate to more anyway. I'm a collector at heart, so I enjoyed collecting the modern when it was more affordable. I would open up a case of all three, Series 1, Series 2, and Update every year, and I could make my money back based on spending $600-700 on a case and keeping the cards I wanted. But you can't do that now. So if I'm going to spend a few $100s, I'd rather spend it on vintage.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I was at a show yesterday. I believe Mark was there also, the Cranston Sports Collectors Convention. And I grabbed about 100 cards of the 65 set for less than $200. And they were good quality, too.
Right.
So, that's like this less than the price of a lot of boxes now.
I was gonna say that's a hobby box nowadays.
Yeah.
and you got what you wanted too. So I mean,
Yeah.
no junk, no odds. Yeah, that's it seems to be the way that everybody's going right now.
Yeah.
And it also seems to be the best way to go.
Yeah, I mean, you're not worried about the overproduction. What's done is done.
Yeah,
What's out there is out there.
and that kind of I won't say it's the way I've started doing it, but I don't open as much stuff for myself now and I'm still a set builder. I still got to have my flagship, series 1, 2 and update set every year.
Right.
But I've kind of changed the way I do it to where I don't buy boxes and open them to do it because, I mean, I end up with a bunch of parallels and stuff that I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
So, I buy bulk base cards from a guy that has no use for them and build my sets that way, which that. I mean,
yeah.
I was going to say, I got your package today, which
good.
I greatly appreciate that.
No problem.
I did a video Saturday or something. Let's see. No. It was one day last weekend that I did the video, and I went through the cards and sorted out 2 sets and was 25 short. And Ed was gracious enough to send me all 25 that I needed to complete them. So
yeah, I was glad to help, especially for your grandchildren.
Okay. So on your collection, what's your favorite way of storing your cards? Do you display everything that you can, or
sets I'll put in binders? I do try to display what I can, but I have to pick and choose because of space constraints. Obviously, I mean I have monster boxes full of cards that I could display, but like the one I have here, this Jim Rice. This card I pulled. This is my favorite card of my collection. It's his rookie card from '75. And that's the actual card that I pulled. I somehow managed to keep that in good condition through all the years. So I'm very happy to still have that one. But I have a couple of cases on my walls of graded cards. Yastrzemski rookie, some Henry Aaron's, some vintage. And those are the ones I like to display because those are the cards I enjoy looking at. But it's most of my collection is boxed up or in binders.
Okay. So you use a little bit of both. I mean, so you do sets in your binders? Is that what you do? Or
yeah. Yeah, sets I put in binders for the most part. Some sets I do have boxed up, but most of my sets are in binders and they're in a cabinet. So you can take them out every now and then to look at them, but it's hard to display all of them.
Right. Yeah, I've kind of found that out myself when I was looking at trying to display some of my Freeman cards, and it's like it's hard to choose which ones, and then you do choose if there's only so much wall space.
Exactly.
So
yeah, and I have probably as much as displayed as I can fit out without getting some more displays. But every now and then I'll change it out.
Right. So Jim Rice is one of your big PCs, correct?
Oh, he's my main, yes.
Right. And I told a story on about the cards a few weeks ago that I actually found out that my wife works with Jim Rice's nephew.
Yeah. Small world.
Because Jim Rice went to school probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes from me.
Yep.
Over in South Carolina. And that's where she's working at. And I've been trying to get an autograph just for the heck of it. I mean, I won't say, I'm not a Jim Rice fan where I chase down Jim Rice cards, but it would still be cool to have an autograph ball from a Hall of Famer, so.
Yep. Yeah.
I definitely like to get. I was going to say I'd like to get a Rice rookie just because I only recently, within the last couple of months, found out about the story where the kid got hit.
Oh yeah.
With the ball. Yeah. You want to tell that one real quick for anybody that doesn't know it? You probably know it by heart.
Well, it was in the early '80s, and a young man was at the game with his father, and the ball went into the stands and hit him right in the head, and he was bleeding profusely. And I mean, without getting into the details, I'm sketchy on the details, but Jim Rice went into the stand, scooped him up, and brought him to medical aid, where it was probably better for him to get medical aid that fast. And Jim Rice just jumped up and scooped him right out of the stands and brought him to the doctors.
Yeah, I saw a picture of it and everything. That's just such a great story. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not baseball, so to speak, but it's a great story.
Event.
And as soon as y'all start Jim Rice, that first pop into my head about Jim Rice the rest of my life.
Well, I've had the pleasure of meeting him several times over the years. He's a great guy. He'll see you for the first time and he'll make you feel like you've known him your whole life. He's very engaging. Not like his persona that the press portrayed when he was a player. He's all the times I've been around him, he's very engaging to everybody.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that. So
yeah, he's a great guy.
Yep. So I see on behind you got some jerseys on the wall. Do you do a lot of memorabilia?
Yeah. Well, if I can, I do a lot of memorabilia. Right, you see Fred Lynn there. The Dwight Evans is to the right, and the Jim Rice is to the left. Those were all signed.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I have a picture of the three of them, the 75 Red Sox outfield. And in 2018, they were all signing at the Greater Boston Sports Collectors Convention. So I brought that with me, and I paid for the ticket to get all three, and they all signed it. So that's a nice piece I have here too.
Oh, that's nice. That's
and
nice.
I showed him the wall with all the jerseys, and Fred Lynn made the comment, "Well, at least you have them in the right order, also." But that was a big thrill for me to have to be able to experience that. Those are great guys.
Yeah. Yeah. What so now I know you do some modern still.
Yes.
Because you've jumped in some breaks and stuff. So
yeah.
Do you just don't open modern boxes at all?
Yeah, I've reduced the amount. The only modern I open now is stuff I'm gonna put up on my eBay store or just sell the boxes outright. I developed that the Safe at Home Cards business when I got back in, and I was busting cases, but I didn't want to keep all the cards, so I started selling them. And we're paying $600-700 for a case. It's not that difficult to make the money back, at least to break even, and get the cards you like. But with what cases are going for now, I did it again this year, but I don't know if I'll be doing that going forward because it's just the cost is just too much. I mean, I have this. Keon Brian Hayes. It's numbered 1 of 10, clear authentic. The clear parallel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to make my money back on the Series 2 box. Other than that, I'd be struggling to make the money back.
Right. You said you did a case?
Yes.
Of what'd you do a case of?
Series 2. I did Series 1, Series 2, and I do have an update on order. But I'm going to rethink that after this year because the price is it's very difficult to make your money back.
Right. Update is I seen where Update is doing the Black Diamond. Did you see that?
I didn't see that yet. I didn't see any sell list for it yet.
You remember was it 90? Was it 90? When did they do the Black Diamond?
93.
93.
Oh.
From what I've seen, Topps is making that an insert this year, an update.
Well, that would be good because the rookie class isn't going to be that.
And they look they're almost identical to the 93 Black Diamonds.
Well, that'd be interesting.
So I thought that'll probably be a big draw for some of the more of the I guess as they say, the junk wax era collectors. Yeah. So
a little bit of nostalgia there.
Yeah, and it caught my eye, and I'm almost positive that I saw that as on one of the sale sheets that I looked at. So, and it looked. That's what.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. You're right on. It's the black gold though, not the black diamond.
Oh, the black
diamond.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The 93 black gold card. Yeah.
I have a couple unredeemed redemptions for that somewhere around too.
Back in '93, that was the one I don't think I ever pulled a black diamond or a black gold.
Yeah, that was the chase back then. Yeah, I remember that now.
I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of it. Which anybody that's been in the hobby any length of time pretty much knows what they look like. But
yeah,
I'm just trying to verify that let's see.
Be interesting to see if they do any parallels off of that and what those look like.
I hope
There'll be
not.
parallels.
I hope they don't.
I mean, it's
But I mean, they do parallels of everything now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about like all the parallels of the 86s. Now instead of just black and white borders, you got red borders, green borders. So gonna do it to those. I could see them doing it to the other ones.
Well, that tells you all you need to know about the print runs.
Here it is.
Yes. Yes.
And they had and run those black gold across all sports in '93, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I know they did. I know they did hockey, and I know they did basketball. I'm gonna assume they did football as well.
So it's let's see. I just started looking at this yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
They don't mention it in the breakdown for the insert. So here we go. Topps black gold. Yep. They do them in blue parallel, black parallel, platinum anniversary, red parallel, gold parallel, and autograph parallel.
Yeah, that's the trend.
Yeah. I mean, yep.
So what I'm hearing is I was right.
You were right.
All right. It never really gets old.
Ken was right.
I'm a witness.
Yep. That's I mean, like you said, that tends to be the trend. They make a parallel out of everything. So
yeah.
So
Panini has some sets that have up to 40 parallels.
Oh yeah,
that's insane.
So what I wanted to ask, based on kind of where you were at earlier, was so you said you came back about 10 years ago. So what brought you back?
I started running out of wall space for my memorabilia. And I happened to be in an antique shop, and they had a binder of Pacific 98 and 99, I think, Hall of Fame set, and it was, I think, $15. So it's nice looking cards. I mean, they were part of the end of the junk wax era, but they looked nice, and I decided to buy them, and I started going on the cards right after that.
So even though you, nope, go ahead.
No, my walls, the wall space, I started having to shrink down the size of the memorabilia I was putting up because I was running out of space. So I figured, what better than going with the cards?
Well, so what I was going to ask was, so even though you took, I guess, a couple decades off of the cards, you were still collecting the memorabilia all through that time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And certain cards here and there. Like I picked up this Jackie Robinson 50th anniversary gold printed commemorative card for his 50th anniversary of breaking the color barrier. So I was still buying cards here and there, but it wasn't my main form of collecting for that period of time.
Understand.
Yep. So Ed, what and you may have already showed it, but what's the one card in your collection that you would say was your most cherished card?
Oh yeah, that's this one right here, the Jim Rice rookie.
I thought that was what one you showed us a while ago, right?
The Yaz was in the first pack, but that's not the actual card. That card probably ended up in the bicycle spokes at some point in the mid-'70s. But the Jim Rice card, from the time I pulled it, was something that it was very special to me, and I made sure I took care of it. It probably ended up in a couple of piles with rubber bands and things like that. But when I was young, taking care of it was not throwing it up against the wall and risking losing it.
Right.
So it's kind of held up pretty good over the years. We didn't put things in binders or sleeves or top loaders back then. So it was kind of like you just kept it out of harm's way.
Is that the only card you have for youth?
No, I have some of the 73 through 78, probably like half of each set in binders. Gotcha. Once I finish the 65, I'm going to go back to finish those.
Yeah, because I've done so many card purges over the years.
Yeah.
That I only have like maybe I'd be shocked if I have a handful of cards that I actually had when I was a kid. But I do have like my first big card my parents bought, the Billy Ripken. They're Billy Ripken that I got from back myself. But yeah, most of those, you know, at the time they weren't worth any money, so I got rid of them, and now I can kick myself for it.
Yeah, and now I look at them, and there's so much more than money about them, especially the vintage, because especially when you see a card that you had when you were younger or you were chasing down when you were younger, it just brings all that back, and it brings the enthusiasm for the hobby back. And you need that now because there's so many people that are monetizing it that, you know, it's.
And I find it funny how, you know, my brother-in-law, he hasn't collected since he was a kid, but he still has his collection. Then you got me. I've collected, you know, without pause since I was a kid, and here I am with maybe three, maybe 5 cards left from my youth. And like I said, kick myself in the butt for that.
Yeah. No regrets, though.
Yeah, I held on to a lot of mine, and I never really got rid of like my main collection, which, you know, I've told a story before that I had a store at one time. I've worked flea market shows, which I think personally, I mean, if you're a true collector, you have cards you collect. You may sell cards, but you have cards you collect and you have cards you sell. You sell to buy more cards that you collect, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know, there's others that say if you sell a card, you're a flipper, point blank, period. You're not supposed to sell a card, but, you know, somebody's got to sell or you can't buy it.
That's right. Yeah, it's the circle of collecting.
Because, I mean, if everybody hoarded cards, then at some point, nobody could buy cards. So,
right. And I mean, everybody has their own opinions on what that means and what a collector is. But I think if you just hold something, you're a collector.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you need to do to enhance that collection. And if it requires buying and selling, because, I mean, I'm buying and selling all the time on eBay. I'm at the post office every day. But I won't sell anything that I consider part of my collection. Yeah.
You know, because it's like, you know, you collect Red Sox. I collect Braves. Ken collects racing and West Virginia players, and I think a little bit of hockey, you know. But, you know, I don't have any use for those guys, you know, Red Sox or any of that. So if I can sell or trade away those and get more Braves, you know, why wouldn't I?
Right, exactly. I mean, it's financially responsible as a collector.
Yeah, and space responsible.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So, what was the what was one card that do you have a card that like would be your holy grail to
49 Jackie Robinson, 48 leaf Jackie Robinson.
Same as John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson is probably my outside of Red Sox players. He's probably my main PC. I was always fascinated with him since I was a kid. What he went through. I read so many books about him, and then I started learning about the Brooklyn Dodgers of the '50s, and so I have a personal liking for them. One guy that I learned about as a young kid was Pete Riza. This guy came up in the late 40s, I believe, and he just had an affinity for running into walls. He was a fantastic player. Probably would have been a Hall of Famer if he could have stayed healthy, but he could never stay healthy. He'd run into walls, knock himself out, and I just kind of developed a liking for him. He just like the old underdog that just keeps getting hurt and bouncing back.
Right. Right.
Those walls were all brick back then, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
I was gonna say, there wasn't no padding on the walls back then.
He was carted off the field several times, unconscious.
And I didn't really know where you were going with that when you first started. When you said running in the walls, I didn't know you meant like figuratively.
Oh, no.
Literally, I thought you meant figuratively, yeah.
Yeah, if you look him up on Wikipedia, you get the whole story on that. Too bad, but he was a great ball player.
Yeah. So that's running into walls, not what took him out of the game, was it?
It kind of diminished his abilities for sure.
It may have shortened his career.
Yeah. He ended up bouncing around to a few other teams. The Bowman that I have, he's actually with the Giants in that picture. But it was his career with the Dodgers when he came up as a hot prospect. That is where I, discovered and learned about him.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what I mean, do you have anything that you want to show off, or have you pretty much showed us what you want to show, or?
Yeah, I mean, I just picked up another jersey. I got to find room on the wall, but this is Carlton Fisk signed jersey that I just grabbed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I have a little bit more space for one more jersey, I think, somewhere on that back wall, and I'll find it. And I mean,
so how many times have you said I can find space for one more?
Many.
At least 3.
But I actually had a couple of things I took down and repositioned other places. So it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle where I have 8 inches over here. I have a 1.5 over there, so I can move this and that. That's why I use everything with command strips. It's easy to take down and move over.
Right.
No holes in the wall.
Everything just kind of starts tightening up.
Yeah. So
right.
Or it's just like the Hall of Fame. You can have like rotating, whatever I'm trying to say, displays or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I get creative. The more that I acquire, the more creative I have to get.
Right. I'm still trying to work on mine. I don't know what I've got stuff stacked in corners and propped against the wall. I'm trying to decide how I want to hang them and how I want to display them.
Yeah. And then you find out it looks better this way, and you're flipping an entire room just to move one piece.
Yeah. I moved my whole computer and everything. I moved from one end of the room to the other. I'm like, I want to hear. I want to show that. And of course, I was getting a lot of flack about my Georgia flag, so that was one of my main reasons for moving. Some of these Alabama fans.
Oh yeah, they can get pretty nasty.
Well,
we don't have that much with college sports up here in the Northeast, but Red Sox Yankees is what we have.
Yeah. Yep. Well, before you, you're welcome to hang out with us as long as you want, Ed. But that's about pretty much all we had. And if that's all you had to, you want to share, if you want to tell everybody where they can find you, I mean, if you want to tell eBay link, anything you got, go ahead and.
Yeah, on eBay, I'm Safe at Home Sports Cards. On Twitter, SAH_cards RI. I'm on Instagram, Safe at Home Sports Cards. And I do have a YouTube channel that I'm just getting getting launched. And I put up one video so far, and that was for Shane's, a video response for Shane's Shoebox Legends for his 100th subscriber. So that one's up there. And I'm working on kind of doing something like what he does, just like spotlighting little parts of my collection, maybe once a week, 15-minute video, nothing too long, a quick look, but just a forum where I can display what I have to people who appreciate it. That's always good. That's why it's great to come on here with you guys, because you guys enjoy the hobby. You appreciate other people's stories. And everybody has one. Everybody has their own story, their own unique way of doing things. Like you talked about Mark's collection. He has an unbelievable collection. Every time I see him post something, I want it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You have to hobby within yourself. Like John says, hobby your way.
Right.
You can't get caught up in trying to compare yourself to other people. And they have fabulous collections. There's wonderful collections out there. But I force myself to stay within what I like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm working on the embossed set for Topps. I need 2 more cards. Nobody has them, but I'll find them.
Which 2 do you need?
Clemente and Koufax.
Clemente and Koufax. Oof.
Yeah. I can find them on YouTube, but now that shows are open, it gives me another reason to shop around at a show.
Right. So are you plan on making the trip to the National? No, yes.
I was supposed to go last year to AC, but that obviously didn't happen. I will be going next year, not this year. It came together too quick.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it was
kind of like, well, we may not have it to, we're wide open, and it's kind of hard to make plans that way.
Exactly. And Chicago's that's a little bit further. In Atlantic City, I could jump in the car and drive there.
Yeah,
I couldn't. A lot more things need to be considered.
Yeah, I couldn't drive either one of them. I mean, I could, but no, wouldn't be feasible.
Yeah.
All right, well, like I said, you're welcome to stick around if you want.
Yeah, well, my phone, I just got an alert. My phone's down to 5%.
Okay.
So I'll fade away before I get caught while I'm in the middle of something. But I really enjoyed being on with you two. It was a pleasure to meet both of you, and I look forward to further interactions with you and many of the people I've met over the last few months through Twitter and other things. So thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir, and thank you for being on. And it's glad to finally get to meet you face to face.
Yes.
And I guess we'll be seeing you on Twitter.
Okay. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Well, that went pretty well. Yeah. Glad he was able to get in after all the.
Oh yeah, man! I'm talking about we was kicking and screaming there for about 20 minutes trying to get him in.
Yeah, we were really gonna have to add lib.
Oh, we good.
I mean, we would have if that the feed hadn't come through. We had nothing.
Yeah, we were really counting on Ed there.
So I think a good segue. We had talked about you had mentioned it, and he said that every collector has a story, which I agree. Every collector does. I don't know that anybody in the hobby does, because you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I know that you said you watched a lot of the HobbyPalooza stuff. I've probably watched about half the streams. There's just a lot of content that I just wasn't that interested in. And I will say that my favorite one was definitely Mike O's video. His stream, he had his dad on with him who collects cards with him. And they were just going through the Phillies collection and it was story time. It was awesome. And that, to me, is what the hobby should be. Like, he had stories tonight for us. And that's what I love about the hobby. I love hearing the how, where, when, why, just those kind of things, and Mike was able to, he would pull up a Roy Halladay, and I think he said he was at like a Roy Halladay no-hitter, just a lot of the things he was at games for, and that was my favorite part of HobbyPalooza. What was yours? Did you have a favorite? Did you have a favorite stream in particular?
I enjoyed I told you about Victor, which, like I said, that was the first time I'd seen Victor. But what was the other? It was the first one on yesterday. Papaya? What's his name?
Oh, Pepino Man.
Pepino Man.
With John and Lou Rock.
Yes, dude, he is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, every video of his is must watch. There's no doubt, because you just don't know what he does.
Sitting there in the Starbucks drive-thru when the video first came on, ordering coffee, and then I don't know what that mask was he had on, but it was hilarious.
Oh, he's got masks and everything. Are you new to his stuff?
I want to say I may have ran up on him a couple of times, but just never really had the time to sit down and watch it. But like I said, I kind of made a point yesterday of trying to watch them all, and for the most part I did. If I didn't watch them, I was at least listening with my earbuds. But it was awesome.
If you're now subscribed to Pepino Man, you are in for a rare treat. That man is one of a kind in this hobby.
I am now, and I'm gonna go back and watch a lot of them. And like I said, I started following a few people that some I'd heard of, just hadn't picked up and followed, and some that I never had heard of, which I kind of stay within my circle on YouTube, I guess, but it gave me a chance to kind of expand out and find some new people. Of course, then we had some of the usuals like the Hobby Hotline and John and Ziggy. So
last year, I mean, I definitely found a handful of new channels. One of the other things that has helped me find channels over time that Mike, Baseball Collector, is also involved in is the Hall of Fame voting. So 2 years ago, that was like all new to me, and that's where I just went. I mean, I was following dozens and dozens of people. Now I've cut down who I follow, based on, just their content. Some things interest me, some things don't. But yeah, it's been a big part of a couple of things that really helped me find more channels. Again, everyone you find, isn't going to be down your alley, but
right.
It's great for these things that do expose, channels to people that might not otherwise see them.
Yeah. And it's like you said yesterday, or you said it when we first came on. Not all of them were anything that you was necessarily interested in, but then at the same time, there was some that you was interested in. So
I'm interested in collectors.
Right.
I'm not interested in the CEOs of these companies. No. Just not interested in that. So, it is what it is. But I got, like I said, Saturday, I can't remember which one it was. There was one of the first couple, I think maybe the second one I was really interested in. And then some of the other guys like Mike O and them, they were 7, 8, 9 o'clock on Sunday or Saturday evening. And we were at a concert that night. We were downtown, listening to Mickey and the Motor Cars. So I did get to listen to most everybody that I was interested in today as I worked.
Yeah. What? And you said you were talking about Mike O. I mean, you can't forget. I don't know if you saw it or not, but JT's impression of Mike O.
I did. It was pretty on point. I'm glad that he was able to stop laughing long to squeeze that in for the end of the episode. Because that was one I was watching live.
Yeah, I saw that one too. And believe it or not, the one that I missed yesterday, besides the one I told you about earlier, was the wrap up when they did all the giveaways. We got home and got caught up on doing stuff here, and I missed it. I ain't even went back to watch it.
Yeah, I missed out on that, but all good. It would have been cool if got F1 box. I definitely would have enjoyed that break, but all good.
Right.
I'm usually not too lucky when it comes to those things anyway.
Nah, I got a few of them that I entered just for the heck of it, but I don't go out chasing them. So
exactly.
Yep. Oh Lord. So what? I guess we'll get back into what we've been usually talking about. Have you picked up anything this week that you want to share?
So I've really slowed down on my pickups. Just not really picking up a lot. I'm just trying to be more focused, and then also shooting to start focusing on quality more than quantity. So saving the funds from the stuff that I'm consigning, saving that up to maybe make some big purchases. But you guys have seen these before. But I got a couple more of the Indy 500 match books.
Oh, cool.
So just champion spark plugs. So Andrew, who is Nuff Said Birds on here, and I can't remember if he was on any of the HobbyPalooza stuff I saw. But he collects a wide range of stuff, but he collects a lot of vintage oddball or vintage non-sports. And he had upgraded some cards of his, and I had messaged with him because we'd interacted. He's been very kind. I was like, hey, would you be interested in selling the cards that you upgraded from? Because it's something I'm interested in, and now I can't seem to open the I definitely started to get more interested in non-sport stuff, especially on the pre-war and the old. Man, I can't get this one open. But they were there's some American tobacco. So here's the front one. But they are fish. It was a fish series.
Oh, cool.
And then here's the back of another one. But he was kind enough to just send those to me. He sent me some of the Flags of the World card before. Here's a couple other ones he had in semi-rids.
What's up, Dave?
These are John. That's a John Players and Sons. This is Will's. Those are European tobacco cards, which for some reason tend to be in better shape and more plentiful than the American ones. So they actually tend to command a bit more premium. Then he sent me just some other oddballs. This is, I don't know, it's Thunberg, Finland. He's on ice skates, so I'm not sure what it is. And then there were some like actors or celebrities or something else in there. Some of them look like the right languages in German. So I'm not sure what those are. So we'll definitely have to check that out. And then today I did get an eBay purchase in. I love the PWE standard shipping. They got this Dale Earnhardt 97 Pinnacle trophy collection. Yay, we all love Dufex. You can't tell from there, but it has the Dufex look to it. And I have some others of these coming. So that's really it. And then may actually end up, my buddy Gary texted me last night. He on YouTube, he's Elbow Sausage. I haven't asked. I think I get it, but I haven't asked. But he said he might head up to the Dallas Card Show this weekend, so I may ride with him. Considering I had picked this up off eBay, considering taking that to JSA. Although I will say that Val told me he's got some concerns on it, so not quite sure if I'm going to or I'm just gonna not do it and eat the loss or what. But might run up there for that, but not really looking to, do much searching and or anything like that. Just not a whole lot of NASCAR in this area or racing, and that's just kind of where I'm at right now. It's one of those things I have so many different things, was it on the last Hobby Roundtable where I like rattled off that list of like 100 different things that I collect? And it's just like, so, certain times of the year I get into something, it's bad because I get into, I'm a little more interested in the racing stuff around Indy 500 time in the summer. Well, it's top of mind for people. I tend to get into the hockey in the fall and winter when, you would think I would be smart and go the other way, but apparently I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Well, you did have one other pickup last week that you didn't mention.
Oh yeah, because I don't have it yet, which is fine. Yeah, it sucks that he only had one because I really wanted two because I was gonna put one on my desk here into my bobblehead, but I will find another one somewhere. I'm pretty excited about that. That will be the first Funko that I've owned.
Well, I was glad I was able to pick it up for you, and I just did get it because he had one left when I talked to him. And he's like, look, because I called him and he wasn't at the store. And he's like, do me a favor because I've been wanting to try it out. He wanted me to go to the website and order it, but instead of doing because his website typically goes straight into shipping and as a shipping charge. And he was trying to add the pickup, order, but pick up on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you sent me a screenshot, and I admit I did wonder why you did that, but now I know.
Yeah, he wanted me to try that out for him. So, and he's I said, he was a guy that I went to school with, and I've gotten to talk to him. I haven't talked to him a whole lot since we got out of school outside of which he teaches at the local high school, and he taught my youngest son in technology. That was the class that he teaches. And between that and my oldest son going through football and him being the video guy that did all the videos, I kind of had some dealings with him in, but I've probably talked to him more in the last 3 weeks than I have the last 30 years. So
funny how that works sometimes, isn't it?
Right. And
I'm definitely interested to get that. And I'm hoping Funko will do a second one because he's in the Wrangler colors on that one. And obviously, I know him as the good wrench. That's what I know.
I was wondering about that. We were talking about that. I think Funko can't get the licensing for Goodwrench. Was why they did it that way.
Maybe. Yeah, because he switched. I want to say it was during the 87 or 87 season, I think, because in the 88 Max racing set, they have car cards. Most of them are with the Wrangler, but there is one with the Goodwrench. I'm surprised they could even get the license to him because of the Wicked Bitch of the South. Like, this is the only thing that's the only thing she's licensed that I know of.
Because even this, it has the Wrangler colors, but nowhere on it does it say Wrangler. It's got his name on the hat. Nope. It's got his name on the hat.
I didn't even notice that.
Let's see. It's got Intimidator.
I did not even notice that.
On the chest.
Well, then, if you can do that, why couldn't you do the same thing with the black?
I don't know.
Maybe I would like to think they just spread it out. You're not going to try to release them both at once. So hopefully down the road we'll get that.
I haven't looked into it, but you may can, because I know Funko does basically kind of like ball cards where they have short prints, variations.
Mm-hmm. Variations.
That may be a variation, like a short print variation.
Oh, I have no idea on that one. Does he have any NASCAR diecast? Does he have any Earnhardt diecast?
No, he hasn't got into that yet.
All right, no worries.
Like I said, he's slowly building it up. Funko was like the biggest thing that he got started in, because he's actually had dealings with Funko for the last I think 10 years or 8 years or something. He said.
Well, if you walk into that store and see any of that kind of stuff, to let me know.
I got
because it's at some point is he's there longer, we're gonna bring in some fins. So.
JT says that might be the Green X Factor parallel.
Would that be the Hulk Intimidator parallel?
But guys, I picked that up at what is now my local card / collectible shop, Lake Hartwell Collectibles, and he's on Twitter. So if y'all want to give him a follow, I'd appreciate it, and he would too. He's just starting out. He does have a website. It's linked on his Twitter. And to me, his prices are as cheaper than anything else you find on the internet. So, I don't know who all collects Funkos, but if you do, that's and he also he's slowly built up his stock for ball cards. He's kind of having a battle with his distributor like anybody else. So
I'm sure. But yeah, help support an LCS. If you can't find them locally, help support an LCS. I was going to go back to what George said a few minutes ago. He said, "Got to have my projects that'll require some modern stuff, but I've largely lost the desire to chase most modern." Yeah, and I've had a lot of time to think lately, as I've not been doing videos and things like that, and I realized that I don't really like modern sports anymore. I don't watch much of anything. We'll probably get back into hockey this year. It's been kind of weird the last couple seasons because of COVID.
Yeah.
I've even lost a lot of my love for college football because of transfer portal. Every day somebody's in the transfer portal. Like, I used to follow WVU year round. I used to follow recruiting and preseason camp. And then I would watch college football Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday from, 7 a.m. when game day came on until 10, 11, 12 o'clock if I could keep my eyes open. Now I watch WVU games. And that's all I pay attention to. And just all the other sports. So, yeah, I'm not really – I've realized I finally hit the point that I should have hit a long time ago, that if I'm not really enjoying the sport itself, why am I buying the cards? Just because I think I need to? No, I should go back and buy, I've been buying Dale Earnhardt stuff more recently, and that's just where I'm focusing. Yeah, I want to open something new every once in a while, don't get me wrong. But since I don't have the love for the current games, I think all sports were better in the 80s and 90s than they are now. And that's my opinion, for what it's worth. But yeah, like I said, every once in a while but I've got a whole bunch of junk wax on a shelf in there that I can open too and probably enjoy a lot more than these guys that I've never heard of. You were talking about Jazz or Chaz, some rookie, and I've heard the name, but have no idea who he is, what team he plays for, or anything.
Man, listen. Since you brought that up, and I saw this Saturday, and it had me steaming. And some people may do it, and if I don't think there's any Marlin fans out there, but this was posted Saturday. It didn't stay up long. Let me see if I can get it to pull up. Everybody knows about Acuna's deal with his ACL when he got hurt. But come on. Here we go. This was posted Saturday right after Acuna got hurt. Miami Marlins Twitter page. Want to see Chaz hit an inside the park home run. And it's a picture of Acuna laying there with the players around him checking on him when he tore his ACL.
I mean, that's a little that's very unfortunate that that's the still, but they might have just posted it so quickly. You know, I'm going to play slight devil's advocate unless their social media has done nasty things like that before. Maybe it was a video and that's where everything was most still, so that's where it paused at. Again, playing a slight devil's advocate. You said they pulled it down quickly.
Here was a post that was posted today. Social media assistant Miami Marlins.
Oh,
so they're hiring a new social media assistant.
You had one job and you apparently failed. Okay. Now we can chuckle about it a little bit more. I was trying to, because I know though that uploading YouTube videos, like I don't do you know, the fancy stuff that y'all do. It's the one of the 3 screenshots that I get in YouTube, and that's what I use. So if they were trying to put it up quickly, I was trying to give them the benefit of a doubt, but apparently apparently for once in my life I was being too kind.
Yeah. I don't think that was a pic that was posted. It wasn't a video. And actually I didn't have the Twitter post because it happened so fast that I missed it. But a guy that I work with had told me, and apparently he took a screenshot of it as soon as it came out. And then it started like going all over Facebook. And I'm like, dude, you got to send it to me, because I was wanting to talk about it, but I didn't want to talk about it without the tweet itself, because it's kind of like, you know, without no proof, it didn't happen.
Yeah. That's
But then later on today, when that other post came through, that the Miami Marlins was looking for a social media assistant. I was like, yep, he got fired. Good.
If that's not the case and it's pure coincidence, it's still amusing, and well done for at least putting that up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple chuckles anyway. I'm gonna put that together side by side and post it on Twitter here in a little bit.
Maybe go to LinkedIn and see if you can find out who just ended their time as a social media assistant.
Yeah. Of course, I don't know if I want to post that or not, but I might get razzed myself for even posting it. But I don't care. Let's see what's George talking about here. He said George says he still enjoys watching sports and keeping up with stuff from time to time. The prices, even though they have gone down, just don't do it for me anymore. You're right,
and that's fine. And I'm just the opposite. Like, just the sports just don't do it for me anymore. I tried to get back into the NBA. You know, Zion Mania pulled me back in, and I really tried, but I don't like the game now. It's all just a freaking 3-point shooting contest. It's boring. I'm sorry, Herman, and all of you other guys. Baseball is boring.
That's all right. I don't watch NFL. I don't watch NFL.
I don't like the NFL because you have approximately 3 square inches on a person. You can tackle them without getting a flag.
This is true.
And there's other things that, with the NFL too. But yeah, I mean, I get that it's an evolution or whatever, but it doesn't do it for me, and I'm the grumpy old man. Get off my lawn.
I'm an hour and a half
It is what it is.
I'm an hour and a half from Atlanta, but I will not watch a Falcons game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch old basketball. I'll watch old NBA from, the Jordan days and, the 80s and pretty much through the 90s. But after that, I just, the flopping and all that kind of stuff too, just we can add to the reasons. But yeah, just the sports just in general don't do it for me. So, that's
to each their own. I mean, you watch NASCAR, right?
Not really. NASCAR is boring in general. The Cup Series, I actually prefer the secondary series. Those cars move around a lot better. But it's kind of boring because, and NASCAR is another great one that you brought up, because when I started watching it, there were a lot of short tracks and everything, and they had their southeast routes, and now they tried to go national and have a bunch of cookie cutter tracks that are all 1.5 miles and boring. I like the SRX racing that's been happening on Saturday nights. It's kind of like an IROC because it's got people from all disciplines, and they're on short tracks, so they beat and bang, and that's way more fun for me to watch than NASCAR.
Yeah.
You take it for what it's worth, but they got away from those short tracks, and now everything's pretty much a snooze fest, although they've gotten more road racing, which I enjoy. But no, I don't watch NASCAR. I don't watch it on any kind of regular basis. Now, one of my plans when I get caught up on all my YouTube watching is I've found playlists of like old NASCAR seasons that people have put together. So I'm going to start listening to those while I work, like the 1979 season, as many races as there are and stuff like that, just to find old stuff.
Well, I had a couple of good pickups this week. One I won't really talk about until it gets here, which will be probably next Monday. But the other one was I got a package from Bo that I got to get into. It was part of a trade that we picked up, and one I mentioned when Ed was on about the finishing the 2 sets, and he actually threw in this 2019 Bowman Best refractor of Freddie Freeman, which I did not have, so that was cool. I appreciate that. And like I said, a lot of my stuff is still coming in. I picked up a good bit last week, and I'm trying to refrain from picking up anything outside of the 72s and trying to concentrate on them. But a lot of times I get caught up and I do it before I think. And after I do it, I'm like, dang, I could have spent that money on a 72.
Mm-hmm. No, I know what you mean. And that, because like you said, we talked about me rattling off like 25 projects that I have. And I'm like, so where do I want to allocate the money right now? So
that was one thing that I did do, but I've already put it all away and put it in the binders. But I did make a trade for about 40 of the heritage cards from my binder set, from my Braves team sets. So I knocked out a lot of those. And I misspoke the other day when I said that I had picked up a third of what I had left on my 72s. It actually was more like a quarter. But I mean, still, it's progress. If I do that 3 more times, I do that 3 more times, I'm done. And the guy gave
unless you only pick up a quarter every time.
I mean, the guy gave me a great deal. I'm like, and he, Mickey, I agree. If you're watching, give us a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe.
I just want to point out that I'm the only one that has given the thumbs up. I'm just saying.
Man. But yeah, well, either way, we still appreciate y'all watching.
Calling you out, Herb, and you haven't even given the thumbs up. Calling you out.
But I'm on StreamYard. I'm not actually on YouTube yet, so.
Yeah.
Looks like we lost Brad to Pete Alonso in the home run derby, which I will not be watching. I'm not watching All-Stars this year.
Oh, is there an All-Star? Oh, is it All-Star time?
Yeah, it's All-Star time, but I will not watch.
Gotcha.
If I'd have watched it, if it had been in Atlanta, but I will not watch it in Colorado.
Fair enough. But hey, that's got to help.
I hate it.
Got to help. Got to help the home run derby, though.
I hate it because Freddie Freeman made it and he's playing, but I don't know. I almost, part of me secretly wish that any Atlanta player that played decided to sit out.
Should we end the show before you start crying on camera?
No.
I feel like you're upset and you need a good cry.
I'm finna go watch Shark Week. I can't get it right. I'm finna go watch Shark Week and I'll be good.
At least you found a suitable replacement.
Right.
Wait, does that mean if it's Shark Week, does that mean Sharknado is going to be playing this week?
Probably somewhere.
I love Sharknado.
That is like a freaking train wreck. You cannot stop watching. It's awful.
Exactly.
But you cannot.
Exactly.
It's like a
awesome.
80s. It's like an 80s horror film.
It's awesome, and I think we just lost all of our viewers talking about Sharknado. All right.
Mickey said he wouldn't watch either way because the sport's gone political.
Yep. That's another reason, but I mean, that's another reason just is into modern sports, but at the same time, just the sports, they're just not what they were to me. They don't maintain my interest. Most of them have become about as boring as soccer.
Right. Yeah. Some of them.
But you know what they say about opinions.
Right. They all stink.
No, mine's usually right.
Well, look, this Saturday, we have the 17th, we're having Hobby Roundtable. We got a few guys that have some shows to go to and won't be able to make it. So we'll have some open slots. I mean, if you want to join us, let us know. We'll be on at 8, and we usually run about 2 hours. It ain't necessarily got to run that long. That's just usually what it does.
Yeah, come on, y'all. Get in on this. Get in.
JT, Mickey, if y'all want to join us, we usually have a good time, and maybe we can get Dan to share some after-hour cards. We won't get into that. We gotta go.
I want to see a shirt design.
Oh yeah, those makeup. Yeah, that'd be cool. You'll have to share those on Twitter. So, all right, guys. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I want one of those shirts.
Yeah.
I will be the only one in the state of Texas with one. All right. That's all I got.
Unless you put some on YouTube. All right, guys. Like I said, if you want to join us, let me know. Hit me up in DM on Twitter at 3B Collections. If you don't want to join, understand. Just make sure to tune in and join us in chat. All right, and we'll see y'all next week. Take care.